start with a speck of dust of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Sincerity is always necessary in our practicing life. Sincerity is most necessary in our life. So he said, sincerity is most necessary in our life. Gurudev also said that many devotees may have sincerity, but only 10% or 5% of the devotees have chastity. These are Gurudev's words. When Srila Raghunath Das Goswami stayed at Radhakund, some devotee of Brajabasi used to bring Jews to every day bring him some buttermilk and a donut, a bowl made from leaves. So we read this last week, I believe. One time that devotee could not bring a bowl from the usual place, and instead he brought it from some other place. Das Goswami Prabhu threw it away. He said, I only accept a bowl from Radhakund or Kusham Sarovar. That is the kind of chastity they have. They are Radharani's followers, not followers of anybody else. You are devotees of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and Gurudev says that you are on the ship of Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and everybody has to come under one umbrella. Sometimes we have some problem or some ego. We hear come under one umbrella, but we bring our own raincoat. Another time Gurudev said to me, if you become a speck of dust, Dulikana, of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, then I will make one place for you. He told me that. He also told me this story about A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. When he went to America, he went once to the jail to see one of his disciples. When he saw him, that devotee cried and said, I earned some money and gave it all to you to make a temple in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram temple. Well, what has happened? Why am I in this kind of position? Why am I in jail? But Prabhupada said, this is your previous karma, but you have given a donation for the temple, so do not worry. There is a place reserved for you in Goloka Vrindavan. That is called service result, service mood. And then, let's see. Chant constantly. Question. I live far from the temple and do not have the association of devotees. Is it good if, while I'm at home and away from the temple, I chant and practice on my own? Of course, grihe bhavanete take. You can stay anywhere, in a forest or a house. It is necessary to chant, only to chant constantly. When you stop chanting, illusory environment can come. Chant constantly. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Sometimes you will not get taste, but you should think, why am I not getting taste? Because something bad has come into my mind. That is why I'm not getting taste through chanting. So you should chant constantly. Those who talk, their energy goes into talking, and they cannot chant. Yesterday also, I was coming by car, and someone there was always talking, and I could not tolerate it. Then I started chanting, and the talking stopped. Actually, I do not like so much talk. You know that. Question, we are chanting the songs, but generally, we do not understand their meaning. Does it bring the same result, the same benefit to us? Of course, when Mahaprabhu went to South India, there was one woman who was reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita with tears in his eyes, but his reading was wrong. He did not know how to pronounce the Sanskrit. Mahaprabhu asked that Brahmin, why are you crying? You are reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, but your reading is wrong. What are you reading? Why are tears coming to your eyes? The Brahmin replied, my Gurudev told me, read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, so I am reading. I do not know the meaning or anything. I can see Lord Krishna, Arjuna, their chariot running like this. I can see that, pardon me. But when I do not know what is meaning or anything, but when I'm reading, I see Lord Krishna, Arjuna, their chariot running like this. I can see that. But when I stop, I cannot see it. That is why I'm reading. I want to see that. You must use most of your time for chanting. Sometimes you work or sometimes cook, but you do not cook with your mouth. You cook with your hands. You work on a computer, but you work with your hands. When you're not working with your mouth, you're wasting your, when you are not working with your mouth, you are wasting your time. Use your time for chanting. Through chanting, everything comes. Through chanting, you will get the real service. And do not do so much puja every day. Do not spend 3 hours a day doing puja and other things like that. It is not our line. Whatever you do, you must spend most of your time on chanting. I saw many devotees of Srila Gurudev, Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and in the Gaudiya Mutt also. They follow so many rules and regulations. They spend 3 to 8 hours a day doing some puja, but they do not chant at all. For this reason, such devotees do not last so long. 2 years, and then they stop. But those who chant more, their devotional activities get more and more energy, and they last longer. Sometimes you are not able to chant on the beads, but then you chant without the beads, no problem. What is your work? You do that. What is your service? You do that. And all other time, you only chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Do like this for 1 year, and then you tell me after 1 year what result you have got, okay? Okay. Anyone have a question while we're reading? Okay. Now this is the 4 regulative principles. Question: to take initiation, we must follow the 4 regulative principles. But some people can be afraid to take initiation because they know they may fall down, break, or not follow the regulative principles. What advice should you give? What advice could you give us? You should not force anybody, but should give them advice. Tell them, you should follow the instruction. It is not good. Yuta, Pana, Striya, Shuna. Gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, animal eating are the 4 types of bad things where Kali always stays. Kali means kalo, always fighting. Kali is a very bad age. Kalir dosha nidhi. Kali has many faults, but we are fortunate that we have got this life. Mahaprabhu, the Lord himself, came in this age, and we've got a bona fide guru under the guidance of Mahaprabhu. At the same time, you must follow these rules. It is not a question of not chanting or not taking initiation. The question is that if you do not stop these 4, Dyuta, Pana, Striya, Shuna, it is bad for you, and you can be attacked by Kali Maharaj. You can tell it to them in this way, and they should slowly avoid it. Kali Maharaj always stays in these 4 places, so you should preach that we should avoid these places. If you do not avoid that, it is like somebody has a gastric disease, acidity, and they take antacid, the medicine, but also take so much chili, sour food, etc. Then how will they get relief? They must think both ways. Either you drink milk or you drink whiskey. Which do you choose? You cannot drink both. You must drink milk and avoid these things. Srila Prabhupada said, Kupata Varjan Korte Habe Ar Supata Grahan Korte Habe. You should reject unhealthy things and take wholesome, healthy things. It means take prasadam and avoid these things. Otherwise, if you chant the holy name and take these kinds of things, it will not give any cure in your life. I saw many people in India, Bengal, who had taken initiation from Gurudev. Gurudev asked them directly, will you obey the 4 rules and regulations? They promised to follow. But in India, people can actually follow only 3 regulative principles. And the only one they cannot follow is giving up mach, fish. They can leave meat, but they cannot leave fish. So take the holy name, but after one, so Some take the holy name, but after 1-2 years, they leave everything. They cannot chant or practice anymore. I saw this even in Param Guru Maharaj's disciples. Some do not follow the rules and regulations. In a few days, 6 months, or 1 year, after taking initiation, they put the beads away in some high place, and the beads dry up or get eaten by insects. Okay. So, let's start with this reading. Now, does anyone here have any questions?
You were reading from which book, Maharaj?
This is from Guidance 1 by Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj.
Okay.
So this is at the beginning.
Está en la página 29, Maharaj. Dando Vachanarda Maharaj, Ashura Maharaj, and the workers.
Thank you.
So I wanted to comment something on, well, first I want to say welcome to Ashram Maharaj, Puri Maharaj, Trivikram Maharaj, Niriha Maharaj, you're here now.
Dandavajanarda Maharaj. Niriha Maharaj is in the car. Somebody is driving.
Okay.
Dandavat Puri Maharaj, Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat Silasram Maharaj, Dandavat Trivikram Maharaj.
Dandavad Maharaj.
Dandavat Tilak Maharaj. Who is driving? Vishnu Maharaj?
No, Madhumangal Prabhu is here.
Oh, Madhumangal Prabhu.
Madhumangal Prabhu from Jharkhand.
Oh, Dandavat.
Here is Madhumangal Prabhu.
Dandavat Madhumangal Prabhu. I was curious. I was thinking as Vishnu Maharaj driving. He's a good driver.
And all few Bokaro devotees with him also. The Dharmendra Prabhu, Sujit Prabhu, Vidya Prabhu. Yes.
I cannot hear properly. It's just the connection is not good. Sometimes goes, sometimes comes.
With Madhumangal Prabhu Maharaj, also 3 more devotees from Bokaro, Jharkhand.
Oh, good.
They came yesterday here, Nishingapalli.
Only for visit, or they Nishingapalli with you?
No, they visit some 2-3 days. They about situation talking. Some senior devotees also.
Oh, that is good, Maharaj. That is good. I'm happy with that.
So I wanted to also comment about something that's for me a little bit unpleasant, but I feel obliged to say this. There was in the last couple of days, there were some devotees headed by one devotee named Jai Shankar. I don't know where he's from. But they were writing with many people responding and committing much Vaishnav aparad to Madhusudan Maharaj. And no one has the right to do this. No one, Madhusudan Maharaj, he's always been a gentleman. In one letter, Acharya Maharaj, he indicated that someone who is a guru, they can appoint a guru or ask someone to be a guru to help them. And Avadut Maharaj had asked Madhusudan Maharaj, and in this way, according to the letter I saw of Acharya Maharaj, this was accepted. And Madhusudan Maharaj initiated some persons, and whoever this person is, Jai Shankar and many other devotees there, they're making very big offenses and blaspheming against Madhusudan Maharaj. And this is Sadhuninda, and this is Vaishnava Aparad. And will not get any advancement by acting like that. They have no right. They have no right at all.
Janardhan Maharaj, los tontos se apresuran a entrar donde los ángeles te pisar.
He said, what Puri Maharaj said, angels, what is angels enter?
Los tontos se apresuran a entrar donde los ángeles temen pisar.
Fools enter where angels fear to tread. That's a saying in English. But, you know, in this case, we must be careful to avoid making any kind of Vaishnava Aparad. And they are all committing Vaishnava Aparad. They have no one has the right to make offense to, for instance, Madhusudan Maharaj. He's a disciple of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, of Srila Govinda Maharaj. He served many years. He served with the devotees, and he always received us in Navadip, and he always has been for us like a gentleman. And I don't understand how anybody can make offense against a person like Madhusudan Maharaj. And devotees also will criticize Acharya Maharaj's, those who were Acharya Maharaj's god brothers, and those like Goswami Maharaj, who brought many persons to this to Srila Sridhar Maharaj's mission by his books and publishing of Srila Sridhar Maharaj's lectures against also Avadut Maharaj, etc. Okay, if somebody says, well, they did this and they did that, okay, but still, no one has the right to be making blaspheming. You may your dandavats to them, and maybe you are not associating all the time with them, but you have no right to make any offense to them. This is not acceptable. It is not acceptable in Vaishnava circles to offend who is our Guru Baba or senior devotee to us. And you know, Acharya Maharaj, he may comment, he may say something, but here, persons who are very much of junior status, they have no right to say anything. So it's very, very disturbing to me when I see that there's 100 different devotees all committing Vaishnava Aparads to Madhusudan Maharaj. And he is my friend, and I don't like it. So I'm saying that. I don't know who these persons are. I don't know where they're coming from, who are saying these things, and I don't want to know them. I don't want anything to do with them at all. So that I thought I should say. Because if somebody is making Vaishnava Aparad, I will comment.
Thank you, Maharaj, for saying that for everyone to listen to. In back to Bhakta Basics with Madhusudan Maharaj, I received many messages from this Jai Shankar, not identified. I don't know where he is from, but I had to block him. He was really out of control, so just ignore those kind of messages. This is a person that is not focused, is not genuine. I'm sorry.
So I think some of you know where he's from. I'm not asking, but you know, he is an aparadi, and anybody who
it's written in his Facebook. On his Facebook, he's from Singapore.
But he doesn't show his face, and many other devotees are joining him in his offenses.
Yeah. So I don't care where he's from. He's as far as I'm concerned, he's from Narak. He may be from Singapore. He may be from Patala Loka or anywhere. But as far as I'm concerned, he's from Narak. He's from hell. And the people join with him, they're also from hell. Anyway, I felt I don't want to bring unpleasant things up, but I feel it's necessary to do something because that is not going to help us, and it is not going to bring the society together if we will engage in criticizing other Vaishnavas. We are every day saying to follow these principles. So we heard about the 4 regular principles, but there are also promises that we made when we avoid making offense to the holy name, nama parads. And the first thing is sadhu ninda. We are supposed to avoid that, committing offense to those who are dedicating their lives to spreading the holy name. Okay. So now I've said that, I'm finished with that. Now, anyone want to continue? We'll change the subject or whatever. But whoever this man is, I think he's horrible. You know, he has no place in a society of Vaishnavas. And if he wants to change anything, he should offer some public apology to Madhusudan Maharaj, because he has made public aparat. Then he should not just write something in private. He should write to Madhusudan Maharaj and he should make public apology. Otherwise, I'm not going to forgive that. Okay. Masha Maharaj, quizás quieres hablar de algo más placentero.
Pues no, continuar, Maharaj, con nuestra reunión. No, muy bien dicho, y continuar con la reunión.
Okay. So we are all here, and one thing I've been also thinking about, and this is my feeling, that as we all know, Acharya Maharaj, he left this world very suddenly. And in doing so, he did not actually declare who is his successor or who is the next Acharya. But before then, he gave indication that he wanted to have that person to train Bhakti Tilak Niriham Maharaj to establish. But still, I'm saying that we want to continue with the desire of Acharya Maharaj, and I feel that Srila Niriham Maharaj, he should also receive the help, association, and also guidance from senior Vaishnavas. And in that way, especially, we wanted to have a meeting, and we want not just meeting, we wanted to have the devotees in India with whom Niriham Maharaj is working for them to join with him, because we also consider that Niriham Maharaj, if he is to fulfill the desires of Srila Acharya Maharaj, then he will need also the association, affection, and help, and like this from the Vaishnava community. So that would mean those devotees in India and those devotees who are outside India, but we will hope that Niriham Maharaj will be able to continue, because I consider that Acharya Maharaj was guiding Niriham Maharaj, and now Niriham Maharaj will want to get the help and association from all the devotees, those who are working with him in India and the international community. So anyway, this is my feeling that this is no one expected that Acharya Maharaj will suddenly leave this world. No one could see that. And I believe this happened by...
Dandavad Pranam.
Yes.
Dandavad Pranam, Maharaj.
Dandavad.
Quisiera hablar, si me permiten. Justamente hoy llegó una clase, ¿verdad?, de Srila Gurudeva, que se habla de que en cierto lugar, ¿verdad?, de Europa, no quiero decir el país, se negó, porque es una clase pública, o sea, lo que estoy diciendo es algo público, no es algo inventado. Prácticamente estaban obstruyendo el sendero de una Bhaktin que deseaba iniciación de Acharya Deva. Incluso Acharya Deva dijo, pero ¿cómo lo lograste? Porque en ese lugar hay muchas personas que no me han respetado a mí y no han seguido la instrucción exactamente que dejó Srila Govinda Maharaj, que yo soy el sucesor de Sri Chaitanya Saraswat a nivel mundial. Entonces le dijo a ella que por favor, ¿verdad?, tuviera, que lo respetara, pues respetar y tolerar a todos aquellos que no lo querían a él. Pero que él estaba sorprendido de cómo logró la iniciación, porque ahí hay muchos gurús que han dado iniciación, de los cuales no están autorizados, y los cuales han hecho algún tipo de estrago, de disturbio a la paz de Sri Chaitanya Saraswat y de la sucesión discipular. Entonces, a raíz de eso, yo asumo aquí la responsabilidad. Yo vi la iniciación que dio Madhusudan Maharaj, ¿verdad? Y yo he tenido ciertas informaciones, ¿verdad?, de que él tuvo discusiones con Acharya Deva. Y a mí me molesta mucho también lo que ha pasado por lo menos con Shanta Maharaj, que ha querido tomar posiciones que no le corresponden, que hasta fue regañado, ¿verdad?, en público, y despreciando a Nirija Maharaj. Entonces, cuando yo veo esto, me dio impotencia, porque yo digo, pero ¿hasta cuándo? O sea, Acharya Deva se fue y todavía van a seguir haciendo lo que les da la gana. Cuando yo leí una carta firmada por Acharya Deva y confirmada de que es genuina, en donde nada más los que tienen autorización de dar iniciación son Avadut Maharaj, encargado de toda Rusia. O sea, Govinda Maharaj dijo que Avadut Maharaj se puede encargar de toda Rusia, que no había ningún problema. Ahram Maharaj de México. Ajá. ¿Aló? ¿Me escuchas? ¿Se escucha? Ah, ok.
No.
Y Giri Maharaj, que yo no lo conozco, nada más lo he visto en un video en Nueva York, y Tivika Maharaj, más otra devota de Brasil, están encargados de las misiones, y que esto no era un tema sectario, sino que si un Bhakta sentía atracción hacia un respectivo guru de cualquier parte del planeta, él podía tomar iniciación, pero el presidente de todos los acharyas, o sea, el sucesor central, o todos los acharyas están subordinados a Srila Acharya Maharaj. Entonces, viendo todas esas cosas y viendo lo que sucede mi medio año de que partió Gurudeva, a mí me dio mucha impotencia. Entonces yo hice una publicación diciendo de que por qué sucede esto si lo único que pueden dar iniciación son estos acharyas. Entonces, si yo cometí una ofensa por hacer eso, yo no tengo ningún problema de pedir disculpas. Si ustedes, que son mi guía, me pide que yo tengo que pedir disculpas directamente a Madhusudan Maharaj, yo no tengo ningún problema, yo soy un caballero y acepto mis errores. Pero yo nunca lo hice con ímpula de simplemente ofender por deseo de ofender, sino porque siento mucha impotencia y yo estoy muy molesto de que haya una oposición utilizando ese chiste en el Saraswat sin obedecer a Govinda Maharaj. Y yo deseo que los devotos se organizaran y se monte una denuncia en donde todos los que no han respetado las instrucciones de Srila Srila Maharaj, de Srila Govinda Maharaj, de Srila Acharya Maharaj, se les quite el nombre de Sri Chaitanya Saraswat de sus instituciones. O sea, ellos pueden seguir con su institución, como dijo Govinda Maharaj en esa carta. Govinda Maharaj dijo, tú quieres ser un guru, no hay ningún problema, ser un guru, pero no utilices el nombre de Sri Chaitanya Saraswat y haz tu propia línea. Entonces yo creo que estamos alcahueteando o permitiendo que personas que no respetan utilicen el nombre de Sri Chaitanya Saraswat, y para las personas ignorantes o aquellos que están buscando vida espiritual, comenzando, no saben la historia, dicen, pero este es Sri Chaitanya Saraswat, y se pueden ir con los ofensores. Entonces los ofensores están utilizando el nombre y ensuciándolo. Yo pienso que eso es algo que debe abrirse un caso, abrirse un juicio para que se les quite el poder de ellos tener el nombre de Chaitanya Saraswat Match, justificándolo con los artículos o los mandatos que estableció Srila Maharaj, que es que un acharya del Match solo puede ser acharya si es nombrado por un acharya autorizado, no autoproclamado. Incluso hay una clase que Gurudev dijo que él no quería hablar de eso, pero que era necesario, que se llama gurús autorizados y gurús autoproclamados. Y como sabemos, en la misión hay muchos autoproclamados, y yo creo que porque nuestra práctica sea humildad.
Okay. Si quiere, yo puedo responder en español, pero lo que tú has preguntado también estamos haciendo en inglés. Entonces yo puedo responder, no sé si alguien puede traducir al español para que todos entiendan un poquito, ¿ok?
Andaba, sí, la llamada Maharaj, aquí estamos traduciendo con Karna Prabhu. Hoy Lakshmi Kanti no pudo acompañarnos, pero estamos realizando el servicio junto con Karna Prabhu Maharaj.
First of all, I know of the incident of what you're speaking, and I think many of the things that were said by Acharya Maharaj and were also related in this time about this person in India and about what should be done and what should not be done, they were all being filtered by Shanta Maharaj who was writing and who caused much disturbance. This disturbance was in England, and he caused much disturbance there. And first of all, he caused this Shanta Maharaj was telling everything and saying everything. The person you mentioned, who was advised not to associate with anyone, that woman, that person, she is in prison. She's a junkie. She's a heroin junkie, and she was told not to associate with devotees because those devotees were committing offense. Now she had no association anyway because she's in prison, and all these things, like was said. Oh, these persons, they only have the right to initiate in their own countries. Well, first of all, I'm initiated in England, and Srila Govind gave me that right, and he sent there to initiation. So, and I talked to Shanta Maharaj, who he's following, and he told me, we do not believe. It is not a principle of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Matth that we have zonal gurus. That guru can only initiate in this place or in this city. That is not a principle of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Matth, and has never been a principle of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Matth. And as for who will give right to Madhusudana Maharaj, he already had connection with Guru Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj. And I was sent one letter by Srila Acharya Maharaj where he said that the Guru has the right to establish someone else to give him the right to give initiation. Furthermore, Madhusudana Maharaj is not some baby devotee. He's not somebody with 3 years. And he's not somebody that you, Arjuna, can criticize. You have no right to do that. And you also joining in with the same offenses that making this Jai Shankar, both of you joining in the offenses, and you do not have the right. You have no right to criticize Madhusudana Maharaj. You are an aparadi also. So this is my answer to you. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can make whatever excuses you want, but you are an aparadi. I don't care if you say you're doing it in the name of Acharya Maharaj, but you are making offenses, and you are not going to progress by doing that. Always, you and Jai Shankarnath, you're always saying so many things that offend devotees. Who are you? How many years you have in this mission? How much advancement? What gives you the right to do that? You say you are doing this in the name of Acharya Maharaj. You are offending Vaishnavas, and you are using the name of Acharya Maharaj as an excuse. And you will not advance by doing that. So try to learn some Vaishnava etiquette. Anyway, I don't know if he can understand. I don't know if someone can translate, but you can get the gist to him. Because he and Jai Shankar, they are in charge of committing aparadhs.
Yes, Maharaj, he's receiving all your information. It's being translated by Hriday Krishna and Om Karnat. But if Saraswati Didi from London is here, she can clarify things, because that video that was almost viral, it has a twist in the understanding. It has been misunderstood completely. Srila Charjadev was told several things, and you can see that they were told by Santa Maharaj. So it's twisted information that Srila Charjadev received. So if Saraswati is here, she can clarify.
And before Saraswati, she's coming to all the meetings of Acharya Maharaj. She always giving respect to Acharya Maharaj.
Permiso, muy buenos días para todos. Pues, somos eternos sirvientes del Señor, eternos sirvientes.
Pero ¿por qué no silencian? Aquí cuál es la
Nosotros
discriminación. No debe haber discriminación. Aquí estamos para hablar. ¿Por qué no silencian? Yo soy un monstruo. Yo le hago daño a la gente. Yo ando dándole mal ejemplo a las personas.
Le han dado las palabras a Saraswati Didi. Le han dado las palabras a Saraswati Didi.
Ah, pero es que... Okay,
bueno, que hables.
Ustedes pueden responder, pero dale chance a... Porque todo eso fue también arreglado por Shanta Maharaj.
¿Qué fue arreglado por Santa Maharaj? No entiendo.
No está claro, no está claro.
Vamos a escuchar de Saraswati. Ella está en Londres, donde ocurrió...
Ok, podemos escuchar.
Un momentico. Primero que nada, Dandava Pranam a todos los devotos. ¿Hablo en inglés o en español?
Habla en español un poquito.
No, mejor, Dandava, perdón, Maharaj, por interrumpir. Es mejor que hables en inglés y así traducimos al español.
Ok, bueno, primero que nada, Dandava Pranam a todos los devotos. Srila Janardana Maharaj, Srila Ashram Maharaj, Srila Tirika Maharaj, Puri Maharaj, all the Vaishnavas. La verdad, este es un asunto un poquito tenso, pero para clarificar podemos...
In English.
Sorry. It's a little tense subject, but we have to clarify this because that lady who took initiation, Sharmila, I actually never saw her in the temple. She never came to West London Mat. And she maybe went one or twice, and then what it was said was that we didn't promote her to Srila Charyadev. But how can we promote someone who we don't know, right? So I'm very happy to promote anyone, but they have to come to the temple. We have to get to know them a little bit to refer them to the Guru. Because actually, Srila Govinda Maharaj, he always told us that we have to give them a little bit of training before we bring them to him, and he said that in London in one opportunity to us.
But at that time, you were in lockdown.
That time we were also in lockdown, so everything happened in lockdown as well. So we were not even able to invite her, but we talked once by phone, really once, and I heard that she had quite a lot of problems with she was a drug dealer and she was trying to recover from that. But anyway, that's not this qualification, but we just wanted to get to know her and we really like to welcome anyone who wants to do service and connect with this exclusive line. Of course, anytime. And anyway, what happened is, and then what was said in that video was that, so Shanta Maharaj went and immediately offered her for initiation without knowing her, and gave the wrong information to Srila Acharyadev, that we didn't promote her, that this, that, so many things were said, which were not really accurate, were not true. And then after she took initiation, she was asking Srila Acharyadev if she could go and do book distribution, and I said, come and I give you many books. I have books here. I invited her to come, and she never came. And then later I heard that she was already involved with drugs, and she was arrested, and she was in prison. She has 8 children, on which all of them are in social care. All of them are with her. But she's a very nice lady. She's a sweet lady, and she seems to be wanting to connect. But anyway, the circumstances were different than what it was presented in the video, and that's what happened. Because here, what do we have a temple for? Is to welcome everyone who is sincere and wants to join this line. So we are happy to welcome anyone. We never reject anyone. It doesn't matter if they're drug dealers or this or that. I mean, of course, we have to be careful, no doubt, and get to know them and go cautiously. But we will not easily reject anyone without knowing them. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Maharaj, but that's what we normally do.
Yeah, I saw this lady many times, Samantha Faircloth or something like that. Now Sharmila. And she seemed nice, but you know, this whole crisis was created by Shanta Maharaj. He gave all this information to Acharya Maharaj, and he told Acharya Maharaj that the temple in London, Saraswati and Devashis, they're committing offenses. And he this Shanta Maharaj give all wrong information to Acharya Maharaj. And then Acharya Maharaj makes some declaration. But all this coming through Shanta Maharaj. And now people here, they don't want to associate with Shanta Maharaj. And I get one letter from one disciple saying that, oh, myself, Ashram Maharaj, we are apparatis because I'm only supposed to be initiating in California. Ashram Maharaj only supposed to be initiating in Mexico. But why does conclusion come when it is not said by Srila Govinda Maharaj? Govinda Maharaj told us something other than that. And we are working on the information of Srila Govinda Maharaj. I before lived in Mexico, and I have from long time Pitambar others. I have disciples in Mexico. I have disciples in other places. Now I'm supposed to this information, all misinformation given by Shanta Maharaj. And Ashram Maharaj, he's going to South America, initiating people for Srila Acharya Maharaj for many years in Colombia, in Ecuador, and also in Peru. He's initiating persons. I do not understand how Shanta Maharaj can give misinformation to Acharya Maharaj and then they publish misinformation. Anyway, this is my answer.
Didi, but you contacted Srila Acharyadev after the video, right?
Yes, I did, and I explained everything, and it took a little time for him to reply, but he wrote a very, very sweet and encouraging email, and I mean, it was difficult because Santa Maharaj was also presenting many things to him, but he wrote a nice email to me. encouraging.
And now why is it that now it is also the fact that devotees are still
La niña se fue arriba. Quickly, go.
devotees are still being misled by Shanta Maharaj. But anyway, I become angry because I don't want to see any offenses committed to Madhusudan Maharaj. He served Guru Maharaj, he served Govinda Maharaj, he served the devotees for many years. And I don't feel it's anybody's right to make any aparad to him. I don't care if they say, I'm doing it as a disciple of Acharya Maharaj. You don't have the right to do it as a disciple of Acharya Maharaj. So end. Anyway, if I make any offense, please don't take my offense. But I become angry when I read these things, all these things written against Madhusudan Maharaj and written against other Vaishnavas. And why people have the right to criticize senior Vaishnavas who are long time serving to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and Srila Acharya Maharaj. Anyway.
Actually, what Srila Acharya Maharaj said in the letter is we have to focus on, he was quoting Srila Gurudev, what Srila Gurudev told him, that we shouldn't criticize, that we should focus on the big things and on the small matters, because that is not going to help us progress in our spiritual life. So it was, he was saying that, yeah, criticizing and making offense is not a good thing for us.
Maharaj, ¿quieres comentar algo? Que no quiero hacer.
Perdón, ¿qué decías, Maharaj?
You can say something, because I don't want to offend the devotees, but I become angry and make some comments.
Abierto.
Puri Maharaj.
Bueno, Maharaj, bueno, Asra Maharaj, tú. Asra Maharaj.
Sí.
Sí, habla tú.
Miren, yo en lo personal no he leído, a mí no me han enviado o no he recibido, o si me enviaron no los he visto. Recibo muchos mensajes, generalmente trato de contestarlos todos, pero yo no he recibido estos mensajes. Entonces me he dado cuenta o al Maharaj el día de ayer y el día de hoy, ¿verdad? Ahora un poco más, pero yo no, ¿verdad? Yo no he estado al tanto de esto. Ha habido naturalmente, ¿no? Durante estos tiempos, desde la desaparición de Srila Govinda Maharaj, muchas situaciones que sería muy bueno pudiésemos platicarlas, arreglarlas, tratarlas bien, ¿verdad? Para que no existan malos. Excuse me, I'm speaking in Spanish.
Yes, Maharaj. Okay.
Yes, first of all, I start saying that I personally had not received any of these messages which are being referred here in this talk and yesterday also, and which naturally are important. But I have not received this information. I received one video from, also not very pleasant, but from some TV channel in India, where some devotees are fighting with another person in our Govardhan temple. That I received from Praneshwari. I received that and I consulted that because they were openly, fighting. And I received that, and then I contacted Jai Kumar Prabhu in India, our doctor there, our Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Matha devotee. And also I contacted Kamalendu, and they gave me quite a proper and, quite a complete explanation of the thing. That was another issue. No, but that has been the email I have received. Then I contacted back Praneshwari and I explained to her what was that that fight all about. The devotees were defending our mat in Govardhan, from some panda, long-time person who had a relationship, I may say a light relationship with Srila Sridhar Maharaj, with Srila Govinda Maharaj. But later on, now, hearing perhaps that Srila Acharya Maharaj passed away, he departed. Then he tried to demand some part of our mat in Govardhan. So the devotees fight. I mean, you can see in the video, they are being like fighting, like fist fighting. Now, fortunately, the devotees presented the scriptures of, or the title, ownership title of the property, and the police, which I think were like doing really the work of a police, they took away these fellows, knowing that they were just making some problems, that they had no at all claim that the temple were theirs or whatsoever. But that was the only thing I have received. And I came back to Praneshwari. I told her what I heard from Kamalendu and Jai Krishna Prabhu, and so that it seems that issue was resolved. Now, this matter is not about some foreign people in our mission, but our people within our mission, and people which we would like, that they will have a good idea about our mission and about the behavior of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Acharya Maharaj and everyone. But I have not received any of these things where there has been offenses, as I heard from Janardhan Maharaj, offenses or Vaishnava Ninda or all these things. So I don't know what to say. Definitively, we have been doing these things. We have been hearing these things for a long time now, and I will ask if it is possible that we all come together and try to dismiss whatever misunderstanding, wrong understandings, or whatsoever it may be, in order, first of all, for us not to commit aparat against the Vaishnavas, and get proper information, and if possible, to continue with our mission, serving this mission of our guardians. But I have not heard. Then I am going to start saying something which I am not so acquainted. I have heard what Srila Janardhan Maharaj said, and I agree. We should not commit these offenses, because we heard from Srila Acharya Maharaj himself. Within these meetings on Sundays, these meetings are being held in order to remember about his life of service. And this meeting on Sunday has been continued, because we want to, as far as possible, to remember him and to appreciate his life of service. He's serving this mission, and all of you, all of the devotees, and like that. Then I can say many things, but really, particularly in this case, I am not so acquainted, with how much it was the abuse. And this, what I am seeing, Janardhan Maharaj is very angry because he felt Madhusudan Maharaj was unnecessary abuse. And certainly he has been a person who has dedicated most of his life to the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. We know, because we have been in the mission with whatsoever participation in it. We know that in the beginning, Srila Sridhar Maharaj picked up personally, at that time Mahananda Prabhu, to serve, to be the assistant of Srila Govinda Maharaj for the Western world, for the Western devotees. And why he selected? He could selected so many other personalities, so many other persons, but he selected him because he saw some qualities on him. and he selected and he served since then. Since the time of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he served the mission of him, which he established, the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match, and also he served Srila Govinda Maharaj long time. And many of us, we could just but be grateful to him for the service, for the attentions, for the kindness that we received through him. That is not to say that he was I don't know, some kind devotee. No, very, very capable. So much that Sridhar Maharaj requested him, you forget about your service in Malaysia. At that time he was serving in Malaysia. He said, you forget about your service in Malaysia and come here immediately. I want you to serve personally Srila Govinda Maharaj. I don't know how many of us have got that fortune, to being personally selected by such a personality and engage ourselves in the service of his another dear most devotee, Srila Govinda Maharaj. So that is the case of Madhusudan Maharaj. Now, naturally, that doesn't mean we don't want to create harmony. No, we want to create harmony, but it is obvious that by committing offenses or by speaking ill of another persons, that won't create a proper atmosphere. That is not conducive to devotional service. Naturally, also, Acharya Maharaj, on the other hand, has been sometimes abused, by different devotees, and naturally that has created also not a favorable thing. So what we want to do, we want to conclude this. We want to come to a good terms on this. Try to understand and try to see, to put from our side everything possible in order to make a proper understanding, so that our relationship can be fruitful and of service to the mission, that we can have a proper way to communicate amongst ourselves and to serve each other. If that can be possible, then it is very good, and I think we should try. We should try to talk amongst ourselves and express our and think. But definitely this vilifying the Vaishnava, the devotees, especially those who we have known, that they have served for a long time the mission as best, sometimes better than what I have served, and see that they are being abused. Naturally, we don't like. And excuse me for not being so much acquainted with the whole thing. That I say sincerely, but I can see by the expressions of Srila Janardhan Maharaj, it is a very serious, delicate point, and he's trying to give our attention, to attract our attention, so that we stop with this thing, that we try to properly what is happening and not to commit, not to vilifying. Vilifying, it is proper, vilifying?
Yes.
Vilifying the Vaishnavas. We should be. Now, it's true also, I heard just now from Janardhan Maharaj. One thing is to hear Srila Acharya Maharaj saying something, even though some critical things about some other person, then that gives me permission to do the same thing to myself, which I may be a junior, not well-developed devotee, or not having the grace it has been given to him by his own Guru Maharaj. He was posted in the mission of that responsibility by Srila Govinda Maharaj. And naturally, he has the right, as administrator, he has the right, or as a guardian, he has a right to explain some things, to benefit those who want to become educated, those who want to improve themselves. the line of devotion, of bhakti. No, naturally, if he said something, we have to try to be careful, because they are in some stature, they have some level of and the support of that mercy coming from above, and maybe I am not, so I should be very careful in doing that. But well, that's all what I can say.
Anyway,
Thank you so
I
much.
don't want to, make some heavy thing with Arjuna or his family or anything like this. All I know is before I was living here in California and come to visit me, this Shanta Maharaj and also Muni Maharaj, they came here to California. And at the time when they visited here, they seemed very nice, and they were working with this, they're both PhD, they're talking with the scientists and all these things like this, and do some programs here. So I was saying, and in the past I knew also Shanta Maharaj. So I thought he's nice Vaishnava, everything then. And then many times I see him with Srila Acharya Maharaj in programs and things like that. So I was thinking, he's okay person, but then I saw that something happened in London, and I believe that Shanta Maharaj, he was trying to, get, I don't know what he was doing, but he caused so much disturbance in London. And about two things. One was because in East London Temple, that Madhusudan Maharaj gave initiation to some lady. And that lady, she was, her husband was a disciple of Goswami Maharaj, and she asked for initiation from Madhusudan Maharaj. Now, it seems to me, you cannot tell people that, no, you cannot take initiation from this person, or you cannot take initiation from that person. He is already established as a guru. And so, okay, so one woman takes initiation from Madhusudan Maharaj, and she has that right, and he has the right to give it to her. And all of a sudden, this is some big aparad. This is some big offense. Why? Because she wants to take initiation from Madhusudan Maharaj. Otherwise, Madhusudan Maharaj have very few disciples, and he's a humble Vaishnava. So anyway, this was done, and then that other lady who becomes Sharmila, that Madhusudan Maharaj disciple, that was in East London, and then this lady Sharmila, then that Shanta Maharaj makes some big commotion that she was not given the right to take initiation. Nobody denied her the right, and she took initiation from Acharya Maharaj. And then by the instruction of Shanta Maharaj, Acharya Maharaj was told that people in London were criticizing him, so then she was told, oh, you should not go to the temples or anything. But all this is wrong information. And when that happened, then I thought, like Karamba, I thought before that Shanta Maharaj was helping Acharya Maharaj, and now I see only he caused so much disturbance in London. So much. Then later, Shanta Maharaj caused disturbance for Nariha Maharaj. Then he caused disturbance elsewhere. And then people were telling me, I received one letter, I'm not going to say, from one devotee telling me, oh, Shanta Maharaj, you are making offenses against Shanta Maharaj, etc., etc. No, Shanta Maharaj causing disturbance in the mission of Acharya Maharaj. He caused disturbance in London, he caused disturbance in India, and he's still causing disturbance. So I don't wish to do the same thing. I don't want to be blaspheming against other Vaishnavas, but as I told before, I have no feelings against Shantamars, but when I saw how much disturbance he caused in London, then I see he wants to present himself as helper of Nirihamars. But I'm thinking how he can help anybody if he creating wrong information for Acharya Maharaj. Anyway, end of that discussion.
Janarda Maharaj. Janarda Maharaj. Yo quería hacer una pequeña acotación, y es en el respecto a Prabhu Arjuna. Arjuna, él explicó bien claro y fue muy franco, pues él expresó, sin conocimiento él estuvo haciendo eso, pensando que alguien pues estaba haciendo algo en contra de Acharya Dev. Pero también él tuvo el carácter de decir que si es que él estaba equivocado, él puede pedir perdón, ¿no? Porque naturalmente pues a veces uno escucha cosas y actúa impulsivamente, pero él mostró también la actitud de que él reconoce que si es que está equivocado, él no tiene ningún problema en pedir disculpas y en pedir perdón, ¿no? Eso por un lado. Y por otro lado, pues lo que se viene diciendo que si tú puedes iniciar o no, que si Asram Maharaj puede predicar en estos lugares, iniciar o no, pues eso no es del Chaitanya Saraswat Matх, ¿no? En ISKCON nosotros supimos que Prabhupada nombró 11 gurus, pero Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, ellos saben lo que están haciendo. Govinda Maharaj no nombró gurus, él nombró acharyas. Guru Maharaj dice, no hay una ley que pueda controlar al acharya. Si nosotros queremos controlar a la acharya, nosotros salimos perdiendo. Entonces Govinda Maharaj no nombró gurus, Govinda Maharaj nombró acharyas. El acharya tiene esa capacidad y no hay una ley que controle al acharya.
Y él nombró a Acharya Maharaj como su sucesor. Y entonces respetamos a Acharya Maharaj como el sucesor de Srila Govinda Maharaj. Pero eso no significa que no nombró otras personas que están dando iniciaciones en diferentes partes del mundo.
Acharyas.
Pranam, permiso, por favor. La carta, mire, la publicación que yo hice es la siguiente y es un extracto o una conclusión de la carta que escribió Acharya Deva respecto al deseo de Govinda Maharaj. Yo escribí en la publicación que hice respecto a la ofensa, la gran ofensa que hice hacia Madhusudan Maharaj, fue esto. Yo escribí, Srila Govinda Maharaj dejó como el presidente Sebaite de los acharyas autorizados del Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match Internacional a Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Dev Goswami Maharaj. Y los acharyas autorizados son Srila Janardana Maharaj en California, Srila Arram Maharaj en México, Srila Giri Maharaj en Nueva York, Srila Tribrika Maharaj en Brasil y Srila Badhu Maharaj en Rusia, diciendo que no se trata de algo setario, sino de fe, que un bhakta de cualquier parte del mundo puede tomar la iniciación de cualquiera de los acharyas autorizados del Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match Internacional en cualquier parte del mundo. Por ejemplo, un bhakta de México puede tomar iniciación de la acharya de Brasil. Un bhakta de India puede tomar iniciación de la acharya de México, etc. Pero el sucesor central es la Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Dev Goswami Maharaj, quien debe colocarse su foto en el parampara de todos los altares del Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match Internacional. Srila Govinda Maharaj dijo que cualquier sanyasi del Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match que no sea acharya autorizado y quiere dar iniciaciones y autoproclamarse guru, que nadie lo impedirá. Pero ese sanyasi debe abandonar el Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match y crear su propia misión. Eso está en la carta. O sea, que tiene determinantemente prohibido utilizar el nombre de Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match para hacer sus propias mentiras y especulaciones. Entonces aquí yo escribí mi reflexión que dice, debemos unirnos todos los discípulos fieles del Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match y denunciar a todos los Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match que están especulando y ofendiendo a nuestro Guru Varga. ¿Por qué? Porque rechazan así la Acharya Maharaj. Y hay muchos templos que no tienen la foto de Srila Acharya Maharaj. otros sí la tienen. Muy pocos, que son los que yo más me llena, que se ve la foto de Acharya Maharaj y espero que coloque la de Nirija Maharaj en su respectivo momento. Pero si esto no se atiende ahorita y esto se deja así, dentro de 50 años, que no estemos ninguno de nosotros aquí en este planeta Tierra, van a haber muchas confusiones y muchos problemas. Yo pienso que es demasiado importante comprender que los únicos que tienen la autorización de dar iniciación son los que nombró Govinda Maharaj, y que por más que un sannyasi sea muy calificado, muy bueno, si no tiene esa autorización, no lo debe hacer, porque eso lo estableció Govinda Maharaj. Aparte, otra cosa que quiero aclarar, para Mahansa Maharaj, yo no sé si sirvió a Guru Maharaj, pero él era sannyasi casi que desde que llegó a Charyadeva, y sabemos que para Mahansa Maharaj no complació el deseo de Govinda Maharaj. Hasta la actualidad sigue siendo enemigo de Acharyadeva. Entonces, el tiempo que tiene alguien no muestra la calidad de su devoción, sino nada más sus hechos y su obediencia al Acharya autorizado. Eso es lo único que puedo decir. Yo estoy dispuesto a pedir disculpas a quien sea. Y más si me está dando la instrucción un Acharya autorizado. No tengo problema. Pero yo de ofender a un nivel de insultar, de atacar, de desearle la muerte a alguien, eso no es mi naturaleza. Mi naturaleza es la justicia. Y las cosas como son, correctas. Y si yo tengo que bajar la cabeza y no importa, yo estoy intentando vender mi cabeza a Charyadeva y complacer su deseo. Para mí fue difícil aceptar que Nirija Maharaj sea el sucesor y ya, y se reemplaza a Gurudeva, y si ya, si de una vez, pero si es el deseo de Gurudeva, y si está escrito, o sea, están todas las pruebas que demuestran que él es el sucesor, mi Gurudeva está encarnado, mi Gurudeva es Nirija Maharaj. ¿Por qué? Porque yo tengo un hermano que recibió iniciación de Govinda Maharaj, mi hermano de sangre, Nimai Charanda, y él inmediatamente se rindió a Charyadeva. Él no se quedó, no, mi gurú es Govinda Maharaj, y bueno, no sé Charyadeva, no, es Acharyadeva. Entonces, mi gurú es Nirija Maharaj, principal, y todos los acharyas autorizados, como es Arra Maharaj, el Janardana Maharaj, Trivika Maharaj, para mí todos son amados y queridos. Todos son amados y queridos, y tienen el poder de regañarme. Yo no estoy aquí molesto de que Janardana Maharaj me regañe, me puede agarrar una correa y me puede hasta pegar, no tengo problema. Yo no tengo problema, pero yo no quiero que personas que tengan cierto poder en el Match hagan cosas que no están autorizadas. Bueno, y si no soy nadie y me estoy tomando ínfulas, bueno, discúlpenme mis ofensas.
Dando
yo no soy nadie, soy un recién llegado, soy un nuevo.
Dandavat pranams
Discúlpenme.
a Srila Janardana Maharaj, a Srila Trivikram Maharaj, Srila Asha Maharaj, a todos los Vaishnavas, mis reverencias. Maharaj, ¿puedo contar algo? Con respecto a Srila Charyadev y a Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. En el año, no sé, como en el 2016, 2017, no estoy seguro, pero en India estábamos acompañando a Srila Charyadev a una cita médica. Y yo estaba viendo el celular, estaba chequeando el celular, y fue la primera iniciación que dio Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. Entonces, en mi mente realmente terrible y demoníaca, yo critiqué eso. Yo hice una crítica. Yo decía, no, pero ¿cómo puede ser? O sea, bueno, él está bien, él tomó sannyas, pero ahora está dando iniciación. Yo vi la foto, era la primera iniciación que le estaba dando. Bueno, en mi mente pensé eso, dije, ¿cómo puede ser? En fin, todo esto, cuestionando. Pero yo tomé la foto y Srila Charyadev estaba justo al lado. Y entonces yo le pasé el celular a Srila Charyadev. Y Srila Charyadev vio la foto y él dijo, qué bien, dijo él. Dijo, Srila Madhusudan Maharaj ha recibido mucha riqueza. Él recibió riqueza de Srila Siddhar Maharaj. Y él recibió mucha riqueza de Srila Govinda Maharaj. Y es muy bueno que él ahora pueda entregar esa riqueza. Entonces, eso ocurrió allí en India. Y me parecía oportuno comentarlo, compartirlo con los devotos. Sí.
También,
Dando Pranam Srila Janardana Maharaj. Discúlpeme que lo interrumpa. Maharaj, ¿puede traducir eso que mencionó Hridaya Krishna Prabhu en inglés, Maharaj? Discúlpeme.
okay.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam Srila Janardana Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam Srila Bhakti Kushanatra Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam Sipat Puri Maharaj y Dandavat Pranam devotos y devotas. Srila Janardana Maharaj, perdón, su merced podría por favor traducir también lo que dijo el Prabhu Arjun para los demás devotos. Dandavas y el Prabhu Hridaya. Muchísimas gracias.
¿Tú quieres que yo traduzco lo que dijo Arjun Prabhu?
Maharaj, no todo, solo la parte, perdón.
Pero yo entendí lo que comentaba Arjuna. Yo entendí porque puedo hablar algo de español, pero yo no soy muy bueno para traducir todo porque no recuerdo todo lo que él dijo. Él hablaba rápido, entendía lo que decía, pero quizás alguien que es mejor traductor le puede traducir lo que él dijo. Pero él estaba básicamente diciendo, bueno, que, what should I do? Should I say in English or in Spanish?
In English, Maharaj, in English.
Okay. Arjuna was saying, he said, I bow down and offer my dandavats or apologies if I'm making some offense. He said, I'm not the kind of person that will make some offense and cannot say anything. But he said, I'm acting on the basis of what Acharya Maharaj has said. He said that these are the authorized persons to give initiation. He said, then he mentioned Ashram Maharaj, Trivikram Maharaj, to Avadut Maharaj and myself, and he said that Acharya Maharaj said that they can initiate, if someone is a guru of Brazil, he can initiate in other place, or someone is guru of this place, he can initiate in other place. Arjun, ¿estás ahí? No sé.
Arjun estaba por ahí.
Yes, his mic is off, but they are still connected.
Yeah, all right. So then,
Aquí estoy.
entendí que dijiste Arjun. Es que tú dijiste que Acharya Maharaj dijo que esos son los acharyas autorizados y mencionaste los 4 nombres. Después dijiste que ellos podrían iniciar en cualquier lugar, etc. Pero que Acharya Maharaj es el sucesor de Srila, in English, that Acharya Maharaj is the successor of Srila
Govinda Maharaj.
And his picture should be on the altars of all the temples of the world. And then Guna said, in some temples of the world, there is a picture of Acharya Maharaj, and other temples, not the pictures, but this was the instruction given. This was the instruction given by Srila Govinda Maharaj, I believe. And then he said that he saw that Madhusudan Maharaj was giving initiation, but Madhusudan Maharaj was not mentioned by Acharya Maharaj's person who gave initiation. But I would also like to say 2 things. Originally Goswami Maharaj was on the Acharya board, and he was giving initiation. I think the original picture, you can see the original picture has Goswami Maharaj as a member of the Acharya board. And he was giving initiation. And later Goswami Maharaj renounced his position on the Acharya board. So he's not on the Acharya board anymore because he resigned. But I don't think that doesn't give him the right to give initiation. He was already Acharya, he was already Guru. and he was already giving initiation. Anyway, at that point. And then Acharya Maharaj, he wrote one letter. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't translate everything that Arjuna said. And I think it's written there in English. Somebody translated. Who translated to English what Arjuna said? Acharya Ratna, did anyone translate this, or is there anyone who read I Krishna? Anyone?
Yes, Maharaj. I'm translating into Spanish, and also I'm translating into English some of the parts that he did that Krishna Prabhu was saying, Maharaj.
Okay, so I don't think when Arjuna commented, he didn't say anything wrong. Everything he said seemed correct. Now, the thing is that Acharya Maharaj himself, he wrote a letter saying that Acharyas also name other persons to be gurus. Maybe there's a difference between guru and Acharya, I don't know, but because that was being said by Puri Maharaj. But anyway, Avadut Maharaj, he asked that Madhusudan Maharaj would help him in Russia, and he named him as a guru or acharya, I don't know. Anyway, then Madhusudan Maharaj is an elder devotee, as we all know, and he doesn't really want to give initiations. He's only giving, but sometimes somebody is insisting, oh, I want to take initiation from you. Now, we have all had some, sometimes this will happen. I know when I was in London, in East London, then they asked that one lady, she said she wanted to take initiation from me, and I said, well, wait, most of the devotees here, they are all with Acharya Maharaj, etc. So, why should I do this? And then they said, because she wants to take initiation from you. And then I said, well, to the other devotees in East London Temple, is this right with you? I mean, it's okay. And they said, yes, Maharaj, please, you give her initiation. So I gave her the initiation. And then there was also a lady in West London. She said she had heard lectures and she wanted to take initiation. So sometimes Srila Sridhar Maharaj says sometimes this is the trap. This is the trap of someone who's preaching, that someone will ask that person for initiation. Like, for instance, I personally never wanted to be a guru. I would rather have avoided that, because I would think that persons who have some connection with me, pobre diablos, I will think that, oh, they're poor persons that they have that. But at the same time, it's one thing if the person is not authorized to be a guru, and I think that's what Arjuna was saying, that how he has this authorization. But I saw one letter where Acharya Maharaj, respect the right of the Acharya to ask somebody to initiate. Now, I don't know. This was a letter. Ashram Maharaj sent me this letter. I don't know. You remember Ashram Maharaj? No sound, Ashram Maharaj.
Excuse me. About the letter sent by whom?
I think it was you who sent me one letter from Acharya Maharaj, like some time ago, about a couple months ago, 1 or 2 months ago.
I sent the will of Srila Acharya Maharaj. I sent it at the time of the meeting of the Acharya board, where Avadut Maharaj was there, Trivikram Maharaj, yourself, Madhusudan Maharaj acting as the secretary, all of you were there, and I gave the will.
No, it was somebody else who sent me the letter. I sent a copy to you. Do you remember I sent you one letter in English? Where Acharya Maharaj, the letter is from Acharya Maharaj, actually. And I don't know if I can find that letter. But then what is being said, who was talking just now? It was, who is it? Hridai Krishna.
Sí, Maharaj, andaba...
Pranam, discúlpeme, un permiso, por favor. Yo le envié esa carta a Ram Maharaj y Ram Maharaj la leyó o la vio por encima, me dijo que era larga y que sí le parecía genuina. También Sao Maharaj y Balarama Prabhu me dijeron que sí, esa carta es genuina y esa carta dice eso que yo les dije. Y otra cosa, porque como no entiendo inglés, nada más puedo leer lo que se ha traducido. Usted, Janardana Maharaj está comentando de que personas le pedían iniciación a él y él no quería darle.